Have you ever been surrounded by people yet felt completely alone? You're not weak or broken. You're part of a silent epidemic that most men don't talk about. Hello, I'm Travis. I'm a husband, a father, I've had a career, and I have been surrounded by people, and yet I've still felt deeply alone. Research shows that 15% of men report having no close friends. What matters is this: men aren't more likely to feel lonely than women are, but we reach out for support a whole lot less. There's a quiet stigma around admitting that you feel loneliness as a man. Like saying it out loud means you failed at something. If you've ever sat in a work lunchroom after years on the job and wondered what was wrong with you, if you've ever sat at your own dining table with family all around you and still felt invisible, if you've ever laid in bed next to your partner, arm to arm, and felt miles apart, I've been there. I remember sitting in a lunchroom. I was friendly, helpful, dependable, and still I was eating alone. I remember Thanksgiving dinners where everyone was present, but no one felt close. I remember birthdays where I was the reason people gathered, yet I moved room to room, feeling like a stranger in my own home. There's a difference between choosing solitude and being trapped in loneliness. I've needed quiet to grow or think, or to turn the noise down, and that can be healthy. But feeling alone for long stretches can be dangerous for men like us. When I hear that 15% of men have no close friends, I don't hear a statistic. I see my own life. My closest friend today is my wife. I used to have rooms full of friends. We'd go hiking, we'd play games, we'd drink, we'd talk. The circle moved on. I didn't replace it. And instead of naming the loss for what it was, I carried the shame and told myself that I was the problem. We tell ourselves things like, if they wanted to stay friends, they'd reach out. Or, we don't need to talk all the time. We're men. Those words sound familiar, don't they? They do because we've all said them. You've probably said them in the last week or two. The truth is simpler and harder. If you want friendships to last, you have to reach out. Weekly if possible. You have to plan something, a call, a game night, a walk, something real. In this video, I want to talk about why male loneliness happens, why it costs more than we think, and what actually helps, with no shame, no judgment, just a readiness to learn. Loneliness doesn't stay in your head. For me, it shows up in my body. I get numb to other people's pain. I get tired and I want to disappear into sleep. I snap faster than I should and aim that frustration on the wrong people. I feel flat, disconnected, if you will. That's not a personality flaw. That's a nervous system under strain. Loneliness is linked to higher risk of heart disease, stroke, depression, cognitive decline, and early death. Chronic isolation keeps your body in a low-grade stress response. Cortisol stays elevated, inflammation increases, and your immune system weakens. So when someone says, "This isn't that serious," I push back. It is that serious because loneliness teaches you to shut down. It teaches you to close the door on people who actually want to get closer. It convinces you that connection is dangerous, inconvenient, or even unnecessary. Left alone long enough, loneliness starts to protect itself. Most of us were taught early that emotions belong to girls, that feelings were something men tolerated in others but handled privately to themselves. That idea is wrong. And now we have the science to prove it. Men don't suffer less, we just report it less. We reach out less, we carry more in that silence. Time pressure makes it worse. Work, family, responsibility. You tell yourself there's no room for friendship right now, and then the years pass and the gap grows. But underneath all of that is a simpler fear, the fear of rejection. You know this fear as well as the next person. We get rejected daily. You, if you're not dating somebody, if you're not married right now, you know that fear. You're doing it daily on a swiping app. or in person when you talk to your waitress or somebody at the mall. That fear of rejection lives within you, and it always will. Reaching out means risking being ignored or turned down or realizing the connection isn't what it used to be. Many men face rejection repeatedly: work, dating, and life. Eventually, you stop offering yourself up, not because you don't want connection, because you're tired of being the one who tries. Now, here's what's actually helped me. I stopped trying to be liked and I started living from values. I built default settings for how I show up: honest, curious, direct. Now, when I talk with someone and the conversation has depth, I ask, coffee, a walk, a call? If they say no, that's okay. Not everyone is meant to be your friend. One bad piece of advice you'll hear is this: just put yourself out there and everything will work out. That's terrible advice. It's vague, it's unhelpful. Another is, you don't need friends if you have a family. That's a lie and quietly isolates men. Friendship needs structure, not motivation. If you do one thing this week, do this. Call one person you genuinely connected with in the past, rekindle the conversation, then keep it alive weekly. Consistency builds safety. If you had a friend in the past that you really connected with, reach out to them. Likelihood is they're in the same position that you are, so reach out. Lonely men often carry this quiet belief: I'm responsible for making people like me. That pressure becomes overwhelming, so you stop trying altogether. If you feel weak for feeling lonely, hear this very clearly. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not alone in this experience. You, my friend, are experiencing something that I've experienced, other men I talk to have experienced. You're not alone. You have community. You just have to find the place that you belong. There are more men like you than you realize, and many of them are sitting silently, thinking the same thoughts, waiting for someone else to speak first. Seeking connection isn't a burden, it's a responsibility. Strong men don't isolate themselves. They build systems that keep them grounded. They model healthy relationships for their children. They stay open so resentment doesn't harden them from the inside. Connection doesn't make you softer, it makes you steadier. Male loneliness is real. It's common, and believe it or not, it's costly, but it's not a life sentence. This isn't about fixing yourself, it's about practicing connection. The same way you practice responsibility, integrity, and discipline. One small action, one honest reach, one steady habit. I'm still on this path. I'm not speaking from the finish line. I'm walking it with you, and I'll continue walking that path. I want to build a community of people who are like minded, who understand the depth of the nature of being a human being, especially being a male human being. And if you ever felt completely alone in a crowd, you're not invisible here, you're seen. So I want you to do one thing here. I want you to leave a comment if you can. Just tell me how you felt alone in the past. As we move forward with this, YouTube, I'm going to be taking comments that I like and offering up, advice in later videos. I might even make a video around comments that I've received. So if you want to join a community, I have just put one out here for all of us. I look forward to seeing you in the comments and in the next videos. Thank you for stopping by. Hope this helped.